Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry History and Entertainment News of the Berkshires and beyond. August is here, and while it's commonly known as the Dog Days, there are still many things to do. On this episode, I'll be discussing a few places to play mini golf, along with events at Mass MoCA, and announcing MCLA's new president. Plus, I'll be reviewing a hidden gem of a movie and concluding the 2026 Basketball Hall of Fame inductees with one last Hall of Famer, or, in this episode's case, a team. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, how many consecutive games have the U.S. Women's Olympic basketball team won? Now, for this episode's local headlines. First is a trip to Mass MoCA for a concert with Roomful of Teeth. Grammy Award-winning ensemble Roomful of Teeth is thrilled to return to Mass MoCA to create a new concert-length work called The Puerto Rican Experiment with Puerto Rican-born composer Angelica Negron and Brooklyn-based indie electronic transitional band Byloon. The Puerto Rico Experiment is a new song cycle built from a series of sonic vignettes for voices surrounded by a mosaic of acoustic and electronic textures. Drawing on the expressive possibilities of the human voice, reimagined Caribbean folk traditions, and layered electronic textures, the work creates a unique sound world that moves between history, memory, and a speculative future. Created in collaboration with 4 Puerto Rican poets, each song reflects on a specific historical moment or site of experimentation. These include the imposition of English in early 20th century schools, open-field GMO trials, UFO sightings in Lhasas, the Arecibo Observatory, and the United States Navy's occupation of Vieques. Alongside these histories, the cycle imagines new experiments for the near and distant future, inviting audiences to envision decolonial possibilities and alternative realities through collective social dreaming. This will take place on August 24th. For more information, August 21st. For more information, visit the website shown here. These next few stories go on a little bit of a theater streak. Up first, we'll be visiting the Wehry Theater in Great Barrington for an opera performance. Lucia de l'Amour reigns as the crown jewel of bel canto opera. Set amid the foggy moors and ancient castles of Scotland, Don Zanetti's masterpiece tells the tragic story of Lucia, whose forbidden love for her family's sworn enemy drives her to the brink of madness. When her brother forces her into a loveless marriage, Lucia's heart and mind shatter in one of opera's most unforgettable scenes. Renowned for its breathtaking drama and virtuosic singing, Lucia de l'Amour remains one of the most celebrated works in the operatic canon, a timeless showcase of the full power and passion of the human voice. This show is scheduled to take place on August 22nd as part of the Berkshire Opera Festival. It will start at 1 p.m. For more information, visit Wehry.org. We will now be visiting Shakespeare & Company in Lenox for 2 productions. First is Frankie and Johnny and the Claire de Lune. Set over the course of a single late night in a small Hell's Kitchen, New York City apartment, Frankie and Johnny and the Claire de Lune is a tender, funny, and deeply human play about 2 people standing at the edge of connection. Frankie, a guarded waitress, and Johnny, an earnest short-order cook, work together at a Manhattan diner. After their first date, they find themselves in bed and talking through the night. What unfolds is an intimate conversation filled with humor, vulnerability, and longing. Johnny, a hopeful romantic, believes he may have found something rare or real. Frankie, shaped by past disappointments, keeps her defenses firmly in place. As they circle each other, sometimes clashing, sometimes connecting, the play reveals the quiet courage it takes to risk love after life has left its marks. This play will be running until August 23rd. Please note that this play is meant for mature audiences only. Our other production is a performance of Hamlet. Hamlet is Shakespeare's most searching play, a gripping story of grief, conscience, and the cost of action. Haunted by his father's ghost, a young prince must navigate a world of secrets, power, and betrayal, where nothing is as it appears. By turns thrilling, darkly funny, and deeply human, this August production brings Shakespeare's language to life with clarity, physicality, and immediacy. This play runs from August 13th until August 30th. For more information, visit the website shown here. Speaking of theaters, for our next story, we will be visiting the Colonial Theater. They are hosting a concert with Broadway's Lilas White. Tony Award winner Lilas White brings her electrifying voice and dynamic stage presence to this special evening as part of Seth Rudetsky's acclaimed concert series. A celebrated Broadway veteran, White won the Tony Award, Drama Desk Award and Outer Critics Circle Award for her unforgettable performance as Sonia in The Life. Her extensive stage credits include Hadestown, Dreamgirls, Cats, Chicago, Once on This Island, and Fella, for which she received an additional Tony Award nomination. Beyond Broadway, White has built an acclaimed career in concert and cabaret, including her award-winning show, The Lilas White Effect, and has performed at renowned venues such as Carnegie Hall, the Kennedy Center, Lincoln Center, and opera houses around the world. Her television work includes an Emmy Award-winning role on Sesame Street, as well as appearances in The Get Down, Gotham, and Law and Order. Hosted by SiriusXM Broadway host Seth Rudetsky, the evening blends songs from White's extraordinary career with candid conversation, humor, and behind-the-scenes stories from life on stage and screen. With Rudetsky at the piano, audiences are invited to experience one of Broadway's most powerful and distinctive voices in an intimate and engaging setting. This concert is a one-night-only performance scheduled to take place on August 23rd. For more information, visit berkshire-theatergroup.org. Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, or MCLA, in North Adams, has announced its new president starting at the beginning of the 2026-2027 academic school year. The Board of Trustees has voted Dr. Diana L. Rogers Atkinson as the institution's 13th president, pending approval from the Massachusetts Department of Higher Education. Dr. Rogers Atkinson will succeed former President James F. Byrds, who announced his retirement after more than a decade of leadership at MCLA. In a press release, MCLA Board of Director Buffy Lord said, quote, "We are thrilled to welcome Dr. Rogers Atkinson to the MCLA community. This was a rigorous and far-reaching search, and it was clear throughout the process that Dr. Rogers Atkinson brings exceptional leadership and a deep commitment to public liberal arts education that will serve our students and this institution well. We are grateful to everyone in our community who participated, and we look forward to this next chapter for MCLA," end quote. Dr. Rogers Atkinson last served as Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs and Chief Academic Officer for the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, where she provided system-level leadership for 10 universities serving approximately 80,000 students. A tenured professor and published scholar, she holds a PhD from Kent State University and brings a distinguished record in academic leadership, fiscal stewardship, and a deep commitment to equality and access in public higher education. WWHEN wishes Rogers Atkinson success in her endeavors with MCLA, and also wishes former MCLA President James Byrds a happy retirement. It's now time for a road trip on WWHEN. For this episode, we'll be staying in Berkshire County, but visiting two places one can play mini golf in. The first of these is Baker's Mini Golf, located in Lanesboro. This is one I attended a lot when I was a kid, and I recently had the opportunity to visit them again. According to their website, quote, "Our 300-yard driving range features brand new state-of-the-art bays and a grass tee area. Furthermore, the 18-hole miniature golf course provides fun for all ages. Try to navigate through the amusing and whimsical obstacles and end your round with the special 19th hole featured game. After the game, you put the ball into a pinball-style machine. If you land in the center, you win a free game." And new this year is Glow-in-the-Dark Golf, which takes place on Fridays. Baker's Golf is located at 633 Main Street in Lanesboro. Hours vary. For more information, visit the website shown here. Our other place for entertainment such as mini golf is K&M Bowling Family Fun Center. With their mini golf, they have it set to a pirate theme. Navigate tricky tides, dodge cannonballs, and putt your way through shipwrecks and hidden coves. Perfect for scallywags of all ages, this swashbuckling course brings to the high seas to your mini golf game. Grab your crew, hoist the Jolly Roger, and discover fun that's worth its weight in gold. In addition, as their name implies, they also have bowling. According to their website, quote, "K&M Bowling has room for you, your friends, and family. We have 14 bowling alley lanes here in Pittsfield, just waiting to provide you with hours of entertainment. Whether you're part of a bowling league or coming for an entire experience with cosmic bowling, you'll get a thrill from the excitement in the air," end quote. They also have birthday packages, which makes this great for kids. K&M Bowling is located at 555 Dalton Ave in Pittsfield. For more information, visit the website shown here. Up next is our movie portion of WWHEN. Instead of focusing on a newer film, this episode will be discussing a hidden gem. A movie that most viewers may not have heard about, but it is worth seeking out. This episode, we'll be reviewing the 2012 film, The Hole. When Dane and his little brother Lucas move from the city to the suburbs, they're in for a big surprise. Along with next-door neighbor Julie, they unlock a trapdoor to the mysterious hole in their basement. Once opened, long-buried secrets are unearthed, and the three must confront their darkest fears in a fierce battle for survival. Out of all the movies I have ever reviewed on WWHEN, The Hole may just be the most obscure one to date. This movie came without any hype and did no business at the box office. In fact, it wasn't until I read a positive review of The Hole that I had actually heard of it. But it's worth watching. Its director, Joe Dante, was most famous for films like the Gremlins series and Small Soldiers. So he knows how to balance horror, humor, and heart. The movie is PG-13 and made for teenagers in mind. So it's creepy scary without being bloody or gory. Certain scenes also remind me a little bit of the series Stranger Things. Without spoiling anything, one important scene involves Christmas lights, much like Stranger Things famously did in Season 1. I'm wondering if the creators of Stranger Things were inspired by this film. The movie is also smart, allowing its scares to build logically. The Hole is a good introduction for teenagers into the horror genre. If they can handle this movie, then they can move on to the scarier films. Our 2026 Basketball Hall of Fame biographies are finally concluding this episode. The last Hall of Famer for this year is actually a team. The 1996 U.S. Olympic women's basketball team. To understand why they are getting inducted, one must go back to 1992. That year, the men's team, known as the Dream Team, won the gold medals and the hearts of the world with their dominating play. Meanwhile, the women's team won a bronze medal and were largely ignored. Combine this with another disappointing bronze medal in the 1994 World Championships, and it was becoming clear that something needed to change. So, in 1995, U.S. basketball formed its first ever full-time women's national team. At the time, there were no pro leagues for women in the United States, so the women were solely focused on international play. The team consisted of 6, as of this year, future Hall of Famers: Teresa Edwards, Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, Katrina McLean, Dawn Staley, and Cheryl Swoops, plus 6 other players: Jennifer Ozzie, Ruthie Bolton Holyfield, Venus Lacey, the late Nikki McRae, Carla McGee, and Katie Stedding. The team was coached by Tara Vanderveer, who would eventually become the winningest female college head coach of all time. To prepare for the Olympics, Vanderveer sat out the 1996 college season, solely focusing on the women's team. In the months leading up to the Olympic Games, 2 women's professional leagues were announced in the United States. This raised the attention for the women's team. It was gold or bust. Because if Team USA couldn't win the gold, it would not look good for the professional leagues. Happily, Team USA not only won gold, they dominated. They went undefeated and won all of their games by double digits. The next year, the American Basketball League, or ABL, and the Women's National Basketball Association, or WNBA, formed. While the ABL disbanded after 2 years, the WNBA has thrived, in large part because of the 1996 team. That was the last of our 2026 Hall of Famers. It's been a fascinating journey talking about these players, coaches, a referee, and a team. I've used many types of books for my research this year, in addition to internet research. On these 2 pages are the many books I've used. As a reminder, this year's Hall of Fame induction is set for August 14th and 15th. Travel to Springfield, Massachusetts is not recommended. The U.S. Olympic women's team also provides the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, how many consecutive games have the U.S. Women's Olympic basketball team won? The answer is 61. After losing in the 1992 Olympic semifinal to Russia, the U.S. won the bronze medal. That bronze medal game victory started its undefeated streak. Beginning in 1996, every U.S. Olympic women's team has gone undefeated, winning every gold medal. Most of these games haven't even been close. Many members of all teams are Hall of Famers, or will be future Hall of Famers, so stay tuned for more. That ends this episode of Wehry History and Entertainment News in the Berkshires and beyond. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHCN episode again, you can visit PCTV's website, shown here, or my YouTube page at RT Wehry. And I want to thank CTSB TV and NBCTC for showing my show on their public access station. Thank you.